As luxury four-door cars in six-figure territory go, the Porsche Panamera remains one of the more unique choices amid a class of cars like the BMW 7 Series, the Mercedes-Benz S-Class. And now that Porsche has fully redesigned the Panamera, the question is it as unique as it once was? By the Panamera's body style, the answer to that question is yes. The Panamera is a unique alternative to those flagship sedans because, well, it isn't a sedan. The Panamera remains technically a hatchback, though it's a little bit better looking of a hatchback than before. Now, the old Panamera had a lot of bulk here above the rear fenders. It really sort of was an unavoidable issue in the profile of the car, and the bulbous taillights really only drove that point home here. The new Panamera, thanks to a lot of subtle changes again, has sort of solved some of those issues. Overall, height and width remain roughly the same, but wheelbase is up a little bit over an inch, and right here above the rear axle, this is down about 3/4 of an inch on this redesigned Panamera. It serves to give the car kind of an overall leanness in its profile that was missing from before. You get around back, these taillights borrowed from the 911 and the Macan SUV, and they also contribute to this overall sense of leanness. Inside, there are plenty of differences as well. Now, that hatchback might benefit cargo versatility, but you pay for it in terms of visibility. Just not a lot of glass looking around in terms of the side glass and the rear glass. Not great sight lines between those bulky rear window pillars as well. And Porsche does no favors here in our test car with two fixed rear seats, outboard seats that have large head restraints. Those don't move, they stay in your line of sight. Now, in terms of the overall layout here, a very cockpit-like orientation versus the shelf-like dashboards you find in other sedans in this league. Still very good cabin materials and reasonably good room in terms of space to stretch out your legs and your knees. Lots of technology here in the center stack, just kind of a tour de force of buttons, of displays, of different things going on. The overall screen here, it's about 12 inches, pretty quick response to everything you need to do and lots of menus to get through, but once you kind of figure it out, it's reasonably intuitive. Less so here, the capacitive buttons here. Some of them are just straight touch sensitive. Some of them have some feedback as you press down on the buttons. I don't know, our editors were kind of split over it, but at least there's must-have volume controls here and climate controls. Those are physical, those are not capacitive. We like that. Now, Apple CarPlay will be offered. Android Auto, though, unavailable for the 2017 model year. And there's a screen here to control where the fan is directionally pointed at. You kind of have to meander around with your finger and hope that the fan directs to where you want it. I don't know, that seems like a total gimmick. Now, the Panamera also drives differently. For 2017, Porsche offers 3 suspensions of ascending complexity as well as 3 engines. Our car is the middle choice on each, so a twin-turbo V6, good for 440 horsepower, and an air spring suspension with adaptive shock absorbers, but not the optional active stabilizer bars. As such, it's a lot of fun to drive with an exotic car-sounding exhaust, plenty of cooling power at any RPM, and really, really good road holding, though one editor did observe a little bit of understeer under hard throttle and modest overall power. The transmission could be part of the problem. It seems very upshift happy in normal driving modes and doesn't kick down to lower gears very quickly when you really hit gas, which kind of forces you just to pick one of the sportier driving modes to drive in all the time, which all but eliminate the problem. Ride quality is on the firm or even slightly busy side, especially if you're comparing this to an S-Class or 7 Series, both of which ride pretty soft. The Porsche rides well enough, but it's not the isolationist experience those German rivals have perfected, so take note. Take note of pricing as well. Pile on the options and the Panamera can sail well into 6-figure territory. A V8 Panamera Turbo can even go past $200,000. So that is one thing the Panamera has in common with those other luxury sedans. It's pricey. But other similarities are few. This remains an alternative choice for 4-door flagship luxury, but it's no less deserving of a look. And given that next year there will be a Panamera Sport Turismo wagon and 2 plug-in hybrids available, the Panamera is about to get even more unique.